Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Libra, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you all on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your key to the week this week, Libra, is the Magician card, right? So you get the magic in you. And that is really the case of it, right? Whenever we see the Magician card, this always says that in some way, shape or form, you are ready to put your best foot forward. In a lot of ways, the Magician suggests that this week you have something to say. You're more than aware and you're more than capable of really bringing something special into the world. And when you get the Magician card, it basically says this is the time to start. This is the time to initiate. This is the time to move ahead, basically. Now, the other thing is as well, because you have this Magician card, this is going to bring an eloquence to your speech this week. It's going to, and you know, Libra's pretty words anyway. You guys know how to make things sound good and, you know, look good on a page and all of that sort of stuff. But this week there's an extra added oomph to it. There's an extra depth of energy or power behind your words. So use them well and use them you know, in the best way possible. I think this week as well, what I really want to say to you is it's time to get selfish. It's time to get self-centered, self-focused and self-directed. This is a week where basically the universe says, what do you want to create? You have the Magician card. So in some way, shape or form, you are ready to elevate yourself. You're ready to bring yourself out into the world in a very powerful way. Whatever it is that you're ready to do, get started now. For your actions and options this week, you have the Hierophant card. This is literally about making yourself an authority. This is about taking charge. It's about, in a lot of ways as well, you deciding to maneuver yourself into the position of being the status quo or being the person that is the go-to. This is, in a lot of ways, going to see you solidifying your own personal power, and it may very well see you discover what you want to be known for, or it may see you putting that out into the world. The Magician card is the power, whereas the Hierophant card is what you do with it. It's the rules and regulations. It's the status quo, right? And the fact that you have this in your actions and options, this is about not even discovering. This is about using your tried and tested true methods, the things that you know absolutely in your gut work. Use those. Those are your tools. What are your tools? Do you know what's in your toolkit? And when I talk about your tools, right, so I'll give you an example. When I went to my first sweat lodge, my first Native American Indian sweat lodge at the age of 21, cried like a baby. It was amazing. It was wonderful. But this message really hit home. There was a woman there who was talking about a dream that she had, and we were all kind of, you know, it was just such a nice community feel, and we were picking apart this dream to kind of, and then she said, oh, you know, and the thing that I can't remember is the lightning. And someone turned to her and said, that's one of your tools. That's what that's come up with. So what are your tools? You know, the Magician has his wand. He's got the four objects on the table. He's aware of what it takes to create the things that he wants. This week, you are going to come into an understanding of the tools, the gems and the wisdom that you've gathered over the, you know, course of your lifescape in order for you to put them into practice in a very practical, real, tangible way. This is going to be a very powerful week for you, even if that's only on that inner level where you really start to understand what you're here for, what your purpose is, and more importantly, what you're ready to unleash onto the world. You know, make sure it's good for us. But, you know, all jokes aside, like this could be a really great week for you. For your communications and conversations, you have the Three of Wands. You better get out here and do it. I mean, this is going to be a great week for you. Now, in terms of the Three of Wands, your communications are going to be very focused on your business ideas this week. Your communications are going to be very focused on work, business, but they're also going to be on networking. It looks like you're building some sort of travel plan or creating some kind of I want to say creating some kind of network, but it's not just a network that you're like a part of. It's something that you're either inserting yourself in or something that you are creating, which I absolutely love for you. I think this is going to be marvelous. When it comes to those of you that work for somebody else, this is really you looking at what the prospects are. And I have to say, you know, your boss, your company, whoever it is, needs to be on their toes right now, because if they're not supporting you, if they're not growing you, if they're not going to push you to that next level that you envision, it looks like you're really gearing up to walk. For those of you that work for yourselves, business owners, entrepreneurs, this is new connections. This is possibly international connections. This is possibly reaching out to and collaborating with authorities, with governments, with movers and shakers, as I like to call them. And for those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, your Three of Wands is it's a leisurely card. It's going to see you really taking stock, and I think in a lot of ways you guys will also be gathering that information of, okay, so what are my wisdom gems, what are the tools, what is the knowledge, like in some way, shape or form as well. I think this Three of Wands is going to see you start to look for a group of people or consider creating your own. This is time to find a new tribe. For your money and materials, you have the Knight of Wands, so very, very bold, passionate, big steps about making money this week. It's like this week Libra's the mogul. Like, you guys are moguls in the making. That's I love it. I love it. There's new ideas, there's new ways of doing things, but more importantly, there's I want to say, like, there's like a connection between the past and the present. It's like you're taking all of the wisdom that you've bought, but you're applying it to this newfound sort of sense of get up and go, make shit happen. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, well, look, you know, with the Knight of Wands, you could do worse. You're going to have a lot of energy this week. You are going to be feeling passionate. You're going to be feeling vibrant. You're going to be quick. I mean, Libras tend to be quite quick anyway, you know, like clever, intelligent, and all the rest of it. But this week you are going to be sharp. So yeah, the only thing that I will say to you, because this is a lot of fire and earth, there's not a lot of balance here, so you probably want to find a way to bring some of this energy to ground. I mean, you've got the Hierophant, which is very earthy anyway, so yeah, maybe, who knows, maybe this week you are the grounding influence. And then when it comes to your home and environment, look, I'll be honest with you, this doesn't look like a week where you're spending too much time on or in the home for a lot of you. And if you are, then a lot of what you're doing is taking you out of the home, i.e. connecting with people from a distance, connecting with people internationally. Like, it's like, even if you're at home and you can't go anywhere, there's so much, you know, mental energy expanded on connecting to everything and everyone outside of the home. It's almost like you're not there. For your love and relations, you have the Eight of Cups. So this brings you the final element that you need. You've got all four now. The Magician card is air, then you've got the two Wands cards, that's the fire, you've got the earth in the Hierophant, and you've got the water in the love and relations. So this week, Libra, you literally are the Magician. What are you going to do with that power? And remember what they say in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. And you know, it sounds cliche, but that's the truth of it. This is one of those rare weeks where you have the ear of the universe. What are you going to say to it? For those of you that are single, look, if you're finding love, it's going to be either international, it's likely to be someone that's foreign, somebody that's very different. It could potentially be somebody that is what I would call a mover and a shaker. Someone that is, you know, like when you look at someone and you feel like, damn, you know, like this is someone that makes an impression. It's the kind of person that you would walk into the room and everybody notices them. Someone that has presence about them, you know, not just because of what they have or, you know, or how they look, but somebody that has that, you know, that thing, like the people that just kind of draw your eye or make you go like, wow, who is that? you know, definitely that potential. Now, it comes through the guise of the Eight of Cups, which suggests for those of you that are single, you may be postulating that you're not ready for a relationship. And very often that's the time when somebody quite special shows up. So just be aware of that this week. You are going to have to make that decision. And it looks like you probably won't have time to linger over it. So keep that in mind as a consideration. For those of you that are partnered or in relationships, well, look, the Eight of Cups basically says this week you have a chance to fix it. You know, if this is what you want to use your great power for, then great, wonderful. The chance is absolutely there. But the Eight of Cups is also telling me that if you don't fix it this week, it just won't, there's no chance to fix it beyond this. And that's not to say like, oh, you know, just with a wave of your wand everything's going to be magical. It means that the deepest cracks this week can be mended, but if they aren't, all that's going to happen is they will continue to, you know, to split. So with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.